Behind every great man
is a great, confident, exceptional woman. Hi, and welcome to Behind Every Great Man. I'm Jessica, your host, and this episode is The Great Return Home. When the boss babe era meets the primal pull to motherhood. Behind every great man is a great woman who feels the pull to be home and listens to her heart. You've probably seen the headlines. Women are leaving the workforce in record numbers. Maybe you've felt it yourself. Maybe you're one of them. Maybe stepping away feels like a relief, a choice you made with a deep exhale, or maybe it doesn't feel like a choice at all. Maybe you feel like the rug was pulled out from underneath you. Either way, this is happening everywhere. In corporate America, in tech, in education, and it's happening fast. There is a movement happening, a cultural shift. The girl boss, boss babe era is shifting to women coming home. More than 200,000 women have left the U.S. workforce this year alone for very real reasons. The rising cost of childcare, the elimination of remote work, pressure to return to the office 5 days a week, and stress levels that simply feel unsustainable. And here's the truth. The system was never really built for mothers in mind. So it makes sense that many women are saying, this is too much. For some, I'm sure this moment feels like a relief. You've been feeling the pull to be home with your babies, to slow the pace, to be where you know you're irreplaceable. For others, you've been trying to hold a full-time job while stepping into motherhood, and it feels like you're being asked to do the impossible. Economist Misty Hegnes put it this way in a recent Glamour article entitled, "Are You Mom Enough to Stay Home?" Quote, "If I choose to have a career and to go out and work, and if I also choose to have children and to raise my children to be healthy, well-rounded adults, it means that I'm going to be exhausted. Why? Because I have 2 jobs, not 1. Close quote. Maybe you're dreaming about leaving your job to be home, or you just got laid off and you're wondering what the season's going to hold. Maybe you love your work, but something in you is craving a slower pace. Or you feel trapped because you need the paycheck and you don't see a way out. Wherever you find yourself on this spectrum, you are not alone, and you deserve to look at this with honesty, compassion, and clarity. It can feel heavy because whatever you choose, there are trade-offs. There's beauty and loss on both sides here. Today, I want to unpack the cultural moment we're living through. This collision of the boss babe era with the primal pull to be home, the weight women are carrying, and the very real, very valid option of a career pause. Not a full stop, but a pause to regroup, to realign, to breathe again. So let's first talk about the boss babe era. This era gave us a powerful gift, right? It shouted, you can do it. You can build. You can lead. It gave women permission to be ambitious. It encouraged entrepreneurship, personal branding, female leadership. It gave us icons like Sheryl Sandberg, Sarah Blakely, Jessica Alba. A beautiful image, a beautiful message, yes, but one that left out the cost. I'm picturing right now the boss babe in a beautiful pencil skirt with a crisp white-collared shirt tucked in with power heels on. Crushing meetings, living the dream. but leaving out the exhaustion, the late nights, the daycare scramble, the guilt of being at work and wishing you were home, or being at home and knowing that you need to be at work right now. Limited time with you and your partner, being spread so thin, and ultimately burnout. As hard as she worked, hitting the goals, building the plans, running the meetings, living in these spreadsheets, I imagine so many women still felt an ache under the surface. A quiet sense that something was missing. That despite all of her efforts, there was still a longing in her heart. A longing for deep fulfillment, for the kind of work that feels eternal and sacred. All the success in the world couldn't shake the feeling that what she was doing wasn't the legacy she longed to leave behind. The Boss Babe era for working mothers painted this impossible standard: be the perfect boss babe at work and the perfect wife and mom at home, all while trying to survive in a system that was never built for mothers. A system that gives you 6 weeks to recover from birth and then asks you to jump back in like nothing happened. No big deal, just had a baby. A system where childcare costs can be more than your paycheck, where school lets out at 3, but your workday doesn't. And God forbid you have a sick kid and you have to scramble and apologize, where promotions go to the person who can stay late at the office, not the one rushing to daycare to pick up their kids to go home and start their other full-time job. This is where the idea of a career pause has become so powerful amongst women. A career pause is a temporary step back from the full-time work to focus on family, mental health, personal growth, with the intention of re-entering later. It's not giving up. It's choosing the right season for you and your family. Neha Rush, who wrote The Power Pause, How to Plan a Career Break After Kids and Come Back Stronger Than Ever, said her biggest mantra is that a pause is just that, a pause. It's not giving up your career forever. It could look like working part-time or pivoting into more of a passion project. So it's not quitting. It's not failure. It is a comma, not a period. A conscious choice to step back, focus on what matters most, let go of this internal battle to be home and at work, and then re-enter stronger, clearer, and with purpose. Just like the Boss Babe era was romanticized, so is being a stay-at-home mom. Just search the hashtag SAHM. Motherhood is beautiful. It is holy. It is sacred. The most important work God trusted us with. And it's also a bit of a shit show. Instagram may show linen dresses blowing in the breeze, fresh sourdough on the kitchen counter, and babies cooing in the soft light of the morning. Real life? It could look like that. I'm not ruling it out. And it also can look like frantic mornings and reheating your coffee for the 3rd time or hiding in the pantry for 2 minutes just to catch your breath and gather yourself. Is this last one just me? And somehow, in all of the chaos, it's where our lives take on its deepest meaning. That's why we have to tell the truth, whether about corporate life or mom life, because these decisions shape us. And whichever path you choose, there will be moments of frustration, exhaustion, and joy, and fulfillment. So how do you make this choice? If you're wrestling with this decision, maybe it starts with simply a reminder that this is just a season. It's not forever. This acknowledgement can take a little of the weight off. You want to also look at the numbers, figuring out what feels sustainable for you and your family. What would let you breathe a little easier? And maybe let yourself reimagine what ambition means to you, where it can include more than just climbing a corporate ladder. It includes building a life you actually love. This transition isn't easy. Some of you are grieving the careers you worked hard for. Some of you are afraid you're losing a piece of yourself, and some of you are just plain exhausted. I want to remind you that coming home isn't giving up. It's choosing to do your best work and honor God's greatest gift given to us right at home where you are irreplaceable. Now let's take some time for our weekly pause together. And I'd love to also offer a prayer for you. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, if you can close your eyes right now, please do so. If not, that's okay. Let's all take a deep breath in and let it out. Another deep breath in and let it out. One more deep breath in. And let it out. Place your hand on your heart right now. Just take a moment to feel your beating heart. Let everything melt away for a moment. The noise, the pressure, the expectations, the opinions. Let the world grow quiet for just a moment. I want you to ask yourself, what does my heart keep trying to tell me? What longing has been buried under the noise? When it's just me and God, what do I know to be true? Whatever is coming up for you, let it be what it is. Maybe you feel clear, like a deep knowing. Or maybe you feel a quiet nudge or a tiny spark of interest. Maybe it feels heavy. It feels confusing, even scary. All of it is okay. There is no right or wrong way to feel right now. This is simply a moment to notice, to breathe, to let your heart speak. Take whatever it is you feel and place it in God's hands. I'd like to say a short prayer for you. God, thank you for this woman listening right now. Thank you for the stirring in her heart that's brought her here. Quiet every voice that is not yours. Remind her she doesn't have to have it all figured out today. Remind her she is allowed to take this one step at a time. And remind her she is never alone. You are with her in every step, and there are sisters walking this road with her too. Amen. One more deep collective breath in together. Exhale it out and open your eyes. Sister, nothing is permanent. That's the beauty of a season. You can pause, you can change your mind, start over, step back, step in. When the time feels right, this is your life, and you get to choose whatever's best for you and your family. And you are not walking this road by yourself. Women have struggled with these questions for years, and you are among sisters who understand and get it. And if you decide to come home, if you choose to pause, trust that this season will grow you in ways that you cannot see yet. When you step back into the world, when you're ready, you'll do it stronger, clearer, and go be the woman you want to be in this world. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having the courage to ask these hard questions and hold this tension with me. Behind every great man is a great woman who feels the pull to be home and listens to her heart. Thanks for taking the time to join me in listening to this podcast episode. You can find more episodes of Behind Every Great Man on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And if this spoke to you, please subscribe. Please share it with a girlfriend. I'll see you on our next episode.